expect you to be very, very judgy. Give it a gander.
Hey there, Julia. What's happening? What's going on? You know that you can run inspirational quotes on your Instagram to justify the horrible things you've been doing lately, yet sooner or later it's going to catch up to you. You know that you're doing things that are wrong. You can change things by doing things that are proper, like giving JP his channel back after you stole it from him. Just let him have it back. You know, fit into all those inspirational quotes the possibility that perhaps you should follow some of that advice and do something positive and start anew with a brand new channel. And while you're holding the channel that you stole from JP, you could tell everybody you're going to start fresh someplace else and let everybody know, and let everybody know, and let everybody know. And then just go ahead and do it and let the man have his channel back. Because I would bet that emotionally, you're not doing good. I would even suggest that you're feeling slightly disturbed. I'm just going to say it. I really think that you're slightly disturbed. Are you slightly disturbed? You can speak candidly here. You're among at least some of us who are friends, or at least entertained by the evil that you're doing towards JP. So if you want to be honest for a moment, we would appreciate it if you would say that that's how things are going over there. And, you know, you've got permission to do so. So please, say it if that's what's happening over there. Just go ahead and say it, please.
Again, emotionally, I'm not feeling good. I'm actually slightly disturbed.
Yes. So we have gathered with what you posted on your Instagram, November 27th, 2024, is either you playing victim, most likely, or a cry for help. So, we're here to help with the good advice that you should just let go of healthy junk food. Let JP have it, and you can do the same content, plus you can do it in your underwear with a fresh channel. And, you know, give that a try. And you know, move on, like you say you want to do with this post on Instagram. And if there's anything we can do to help here, I mean, like, how about that book you're trying to move? You know, that JP's friends did the artwork for it, and given JP's content on his channel and what you're left with on the channel you stole from him, we can discern that he put in the majority of the work into that. You want to speak about that book?
Check out the HJF Food Hacks book.
Okay, so if that is what you want, then we will do it. It is the Healthy Junk Food Presents Fast Food Hacks. It's not HJF with your desperate attempt to make things cool, because Healthy Junk Food was already cool when JP was there and you stole the channel, and I was like, hey, check the HJF book. So we're going to get to it. And before we do, because, you know, we do a lot more here than just Ken Domik reactions. KDRC is also the world leader in healthy junk food reactions, too. There's nowhere else to go other than here. And we're going to review the book as your request right after we hear a little bit from JP before we do so. Here he is.
See? Boom. This has been like 2 years in the making, guys. My heart and soul went into this book. It's not just hacks. Look at that. The art was done by my friends. They did such a good job. And this not only supports my buddy Sebastian. This is my dream. This is what I want on my birthday. But it will also support my comedy journey. So if you guys want to pre-order this, I highly appreciate it. And then look at this. Look at this picture. I'm like,
So here is my review of Healthy Junk Food Presents Fast Food Hacks to Save Money and More. And I can't just read the book, which would be giving it all away. And even going through it to give you parts of it to do the review. To be fair to copyright itself, I'm going to cover half of it with this graphic, which will remind you to go and subscribe to JP's channel. That's JP Lambiace. Like to do that. And, so that also protects me if Julia wants to make an argument that I'm infringing upon copyright, which I'm not, and I will be clever and I will leave out a lot of this stuff, and, well, there you go. Half of it is covered. So, yeah, so just give this a chance, you know, let it run for a couple of minutes, and before clicking off and saying there's far too much talking. So this is the Kindle edition, of course, and first time that I used Kindle, which took a lot of work to get it to operate on my desktop. For the device, it worked right away. It's just desktop took a lot of... anyway, it's all boring. So I wish I could have gotten to this sooner. Let's just do it. So here's the front cover, and yeah, I guess the front page is repeated on the inside. I don't know. And I click it again. Okay, so you open it and you get this. Okay, Healthy Junk Food presents fast food hacks to save money and more. And on the left-hand side, it says this is all copyrighted. You can't copy it. That's pretty rich coming from Julia after she stole JP's channel, locked him out of it. And so on the right-hand side, it says hi, which is a problem immediately because JP and Julia are fighting with each other after what Julia did to JP, and that makes this book a bit of a... Well, wait, before I'm not going to criticize the book per se as a bad book. There's a little bit more in here than I had thought before, and I still believe it's a good item to have as a celebration of being a fan of healthy junk food. Even though they've split apart and are fighting, it hasn't been an amicable split. They're fighting. So I'm going to make the argument that it's a collector's item if you actually get the real book. So as it stands, with the two of them at odds, the spirit of this book is a little bit misplaced. Because, like, hi! It's like... That's not what's being offered. There's no happiness to speak of behind this team, and the team is still being offered within the body of the book itself. You'll get what I mean as you go on. So let's just get going. So there's Julia Gulia, and on the bottom half that I'm not going to share, it says also known as Julia Urinsky. So I was not calling her real name, even though she has done with JP stories in newspapers for years, saying her real name. I was just being courteous. So with my having purchased, yeah, that's another thing that gives me the right to do this. I bought the Kindle edition of the book. So I've paid for this, and I can review what I have paid for, Julia. So she is using her real name in the book. And just to remind you, Julia Gulia is a name that she stole from The Wedding Singer, because she has no creativity on her own. And so since she's using her real name in the book, I can refer to her as Julia Urinsky now, not just Julia Gulia, which was always a drag. So anyway, she's mentioned first, and we all know it's JP and Julia, not Julia and JP. So somehow she ends up mentioned first. It's not really a big deal. It's just that when they refer to the team is referred to as Julia and JP. That's screwed up too. Anyway, already too much talking. I can just expect your clicking off. Let's keep moving. There's our man JP. At the bottom is referred to as JP Lambiace. And I can't read the copy because then I'm reading the book. So let's keep moving. And here where they say, now that you know who we are, that is now false because I'm talking too much. Let's keep moving. Alright, so there's a little bit of the lore and the history of fast food, which I didn't know about earlier, so that makes the book better. And I'm just going to rifle through this. It mentions the convenience and affordability, variety. There's some social aspects. There's back. Oh yeah, and consistent quality, which you can thank Ray Kroc for. Of course, our Ken Domik says that Ray Kroc is an a-hole. Yeah, that's disappointing. I don't know why anybody does business with Ken after he says that. So, anyway, we're not talking about him. So they mentioned there's some history with the fast food industry, which is good. And here where it says the big players, at the bottom they have all of the trademark logos, the trademarks that have been reworked as sort of parodies. So I'm not going to share all of those. Keep moving. And now they say the ultimate table of contents. And they put it on the bills from fast food places, which is clever. And they're starting with Burger King, which is my favorite. And they're referring to this is all one take. So whenever there are mistakes, so what? I'm leaving them in. They refer to it as Burger Kong. Now, the illustrations may seem simple, yet all of, like as JP said, his friends did the artwork. So if you have to do these illustrations from scratch, it's a lot of work. These are all done in Illustrator, I would expect. And anyway, just appreciate all the work there. So Burger King, fancy bun, cheap slider. Okay, from time to time, I'm gonna just cover the whole thing with a picture of JP. That's so I can just rifle through stuff and, cover it completely. Because I don't want to be criticized as giving away too much here. So I'm just going to move forward to... And there's a lot of good artwork in here too. Okay, back. So this is a hack that I'm familiar with. Because this is an American book, I don't know if all of these things work in Canada. Some of the chains aren't even available in Canada. I'm just giving you some Canadian perspective. The coupon on the back of the Burger King, usually it's been this way for years. If you do a little survey, you can get a Whopper if you buy a small drink and a small fry. So that's an excellent deal. And so they're just telling you, there's always a deal on the back of the receipt from Burger King, which is, it's good advice, only we already pretty much know. And what I'm going to provide, I'm not putting this section down. There's a lot of great artwork there. This is all one take. You see how I have to do so much work on my normal videos so they flow nicely? Okay, so the two things that I want to add to this hacks of my own is that if they don't tell you this, that if you decide to dine in at Burger King, in addition to embarrassing yourself, you can enjoy unlimited refills. So if you go and you get this deal and you get a free Whopper while buying a small drink and a small fry, you can sit there and you can refill your small drink. And you can really make a fool of yourself by bringing a water bottle with you, and you can fill that too. And of course, remember to get heavy all when you go to Burger King. So that's also referred to as running it through the jungles, which you get a little bit extra vegetables and mayonnaise and ketchup, whatever. And the other thing is, I've used this opportunity so many times in the past that I learned through experience that even though they say you can only use it like once in a month or whenever they do, and they track your computer when you fill this out online, if you go ahead and try it, even though they say you can't, sometimes it works again. So there have been times where it says, well, thank you very much, you only do this, once every few weeks or so. Go ahead and try it, and you might get it done again. So, and then you get another receipt, right? And then you can come back and do it again. It's like you keep walking in there, buying a small fry and a small drink, and you get a Whopper to go with it, which is a great deal. So do try it, even though they say you can only do it once in a while. Alright, too much talking. And then there's, they have codes to scan in from the book itself, which is a fun use of technology. I didn't know about that before. And let's keep moving. Now we're going to Chick-fil-A, which is referred to as Chalk-fil-A. I guess because it looks like a chalk drawing. I'm just going to do a couple from this. Yeah, this is like, it's graphic design. And it's good stuff. I mean, if it looks simple, it doesn't matter. It's still a lot of work to make it from scratch. They can't just go, get this, clip art images or just ask for a picture of something. It's all going to be made from scratch. Or else somebody shows up and says, where's my fee for using this? I'm not familiar with Chick-fil-A. There's actually one in my area I haven't even been to yet, which is pretty new. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm going to put a picture of JP, and I'm just going to rifle through this. We go to the next place. The next place is Chipotle. Chipotle, right? And that's supposed to be Chipotle. I don't even know if they're available in Canada. I don't have time to do the research. I just want to go through this book. The graphic design, the artwork follows a lot of, well, when they get to Popeyes, they do like a tribute to their style of doing stuff. Anyway, I'll wait till we get there. That's a lot of work. Okay, so let's just censor this, for lack of a better term. And then we get to, now this is supposed to be Culver's. I can't read that. I don't know what that's trying to say at all. Let's do a couple of Culver's. 1, 2. Remember, this is all made from scratch. And let's censor it and move forward. This is saving me some time in the editing. Now we're at Fried Guys, Braggers, and Freeze. Which is, it just sounds silly. It's funny. Which, of course, is Five Guys, Burgers, and Fries. Let's see. 1, 2, and I'm leaving all the parts out where it says how to get these deals and what to ask for to get ahead a little bit. Let's, JP, we move forward. Now we're at the most important one, which is McDonald's. And, this is the best one, because it's the biggest and most expensive, and look what they've done with the trademark. They've messed with it just enough so they're protected. They refer to it as McDoodles, which is clever and funny. The thing is, they got a lot in here. And I'd like to share it just some of them. It's just that this is the most important. So, for me to be fair to the idea of copyright itself, I'm not going to show any of them. And that's too bad, because there's a couple in here that I want to speak to, which are annoying. So if you go to the same McDonald's over and over again, and like the book says, do this and you can get that, and do this and you can make them do this for you too. If you do that fairly regularly, you might get on somebody's poop list, and if it's their last day of work, they might do something special for you that you weren't asking for. So, I think for the most part, these are great tips, if you want to call them hacks, yeah. Well, here I am pausing. It's all done in one take. So, it's useful if you're really into McDonald's, and like there are a couple that I think are a little annoying. I wish I could talk to them, speak to them rather. I just have to leave them alone, because this is the biggest and most important part. And if I want this to be a review, which it is, with half of it covered, and to be fair, I really want to talk. I just can't. I would love to go through. There's a lot of good artwork in here. A lot of work in here. Remember, it supports JP and his friends who did the artwork. And here I am talking. You're getting bored. I have to skip over the entire McDonald's section. So let's do that. Now we're at Mendy's. And in this day and age where everything is going feminine, I mean, it's a little bit more than just everybody being equal. It's like everything is skewing feminine. How often do you see anything feminine? Most things are being turned feminine. How often do you see anything feminine turned masculine? So I like this choice of word of taking the Wendy trademark, which is, the daughter of the founder, and turning it into a dude. And the name, going from Wendy's, they could have called it, like, I don't know, Bobby's or something like that. They call it Mendy's, which is also something different in this, in these days. Let's check out a couple. it looks simple. That's a lot of work, okay, to make them all attractive and original. You know, that's all put together with layers and Illustrator. A lot of work. One more? Okay, I'm going to leave the rest of them alone. Let's get back to JP. And now we are at Nacho Bell. They haven't done too much to the trademark. That's pretty close to the Taco Bell trademark. And I'm not complaining. It's, you know, they've changed it a little bit. Well, it's like what we have here. KDRC. I took two trademarks and I combined them. It's sort of like the punk rock way of doing things. If you see a flyer for a punk rock band, they'll often take established iconography to sound fancy about it and combine them into something new. So I took Kraft Dinner and RC Crown Cola, put them together. So, well, this isn't quite like that. It's just that they've changed it enough that they can get away for a parody and for anyway, I'm talking too much. You know what I mean. Let's do two. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And I'm leaving out all... I already told you that. The one on the right is the Mexi Melt, which is pretty much my favorite thing at Taco Bell. And, yeah, I wish I could show them all to you. That's good work in this. And I'm going to make the argument. By the way, not sponsored. Okay? I paid for this. And I'm going to make the argument that you should buy the book. So not that it matters, you know, what Julia has to say. It's just that I'm telling you guys you should buy the actual real book. Did I did two? Yeah, I did two. Okay, so let's censor and get to the end of this. Now we are at Out in Burger, which of course is a riff on In-N-Out Burger. Let's just do one from them. And yeah, so let's push forward. No, wait, hang on. I want to do one more. Okay, this one here, it reminds me of the old video game Burger Time. Could you be saying to yourself, what does he mean, Burger Time? Well, here it is. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's move on. Whoops, I'm giving you too much. Alright, let's, I didn't give you everything. And of course, it's all, I'm not gonna, it's all done in one take. I didn't give you too much, even though my words were, I'm giving you too much. Oh, you gave him too, no, it's just, who sets the standards? I do. So now it's Poop Eyes, which of course is a riff on Popeyes. Now, look at the work they've done to do all the background stuff. That's all been changed. So it looks the same, yet it's different. A lot of work went in here. Great stuff. And let's just, I don't know, let's just cover up and move on. Now we're at, this is a riff on Raisin Canes. They call it Raisin Cans. I've never been there. I don't know if it's available in Canada or not. This sort of reminds me of like those stickers, like way back in the day, that you could get in convenience stores when I was a kid, that would do parodies of household items and foods and things like that. So I think this is clever and fun, calling this Raisin Cans. What else I got to say about it? Well, come on, we gotta keep moving or else everybody gets bored. Alright. Okay, so that's enough of that. This one, Subway, is referred to as Sadway, which is also funny. It reminds me of Mad Magazine back in the day. All these things that used to be good, you know. You know, they ruined Mad Magazine, by the way, when they came out with... No, they put ads in it, which partially wrecked it. And I used to subscribe. And the Mad Magazine used to get sent to your door with jokes on the envelope, which were clever. And then they came up with the Mad Kids. I mean, that ruined the whole point of it. You know, Mad Magazine is already something that kids can get their hands on, yet adults can like it too. That's part of the fun. It's sort of like the humor of the Muppet Show. Anyway, that's me talking about Mad Magazine, which I'll leave alone. So this is funny. And let's do just one. It looks simple. There's a lot of work in there. So let's push forward, leaving out the majority of it. Now we get to their take on Starbucks, which is referred to as Starducks, which is clever because they leave the Starbucks woman mascot trademark thing far away, and they start over with a duck. Which is clever. So let's get into. Let me censor it here, and then I'm going to show you the one that has a drawing of the Starbucks. Here, there she is, and I think that's, yeah. They got the codes. That means that's the end of it. Now we're going to go to Whataburger, which is presented here as Waterburger. Let's see, do one or two of these. That's pretty strong. I can do just one. Yeah, okay, so, like, you know, I don't want to give the whole thing away, even though half of it is covered as it is. Let's do two very fast. Bloop, bloop. Okay, censor it, and we push our way through. Okay. So here we are, and this is where the book stops making sense, yet it also becomes my argument for a collector's item. So they're saying, what's next? And we already know that JP spoke to this picture himself. And he said, like, oh yeah. And, like, what he didn't put in there was, he could have said, like, you know, to the moon, Alice. Pa-pow. So they're asking what's next with fast food. And they say it's going to continue to evolve and all the rest. See, this is so tragic about it, is that it took so long to make this. That now the two of them are fighting. Julia put a knife in JP's back. You know, Julia, we know you're going to watch this, so how about you just start your own channel and use Healthy Junk Food for like a month and just say, here's where I'm going to go and follow me there, and just let him have his channel back. I mean, it's all effed up. Like, there are still people walking in, and they're not trying to be jerks about it with the question, where's JP? They're not being jerks. Like, you still got a big fan base, and you turned them off with what you made for the last year and a half. And they show, and it's like, well, where's JP? And you still have to tell them, yeah, well, here's this whole story. So what's next? They're talking about what's next with fast food. And, of course, what's next with them is, you know, lots of fighting. And JP trying to get his channel back after Julia stole it from him. And, yeah, so I'm still going to make my argument. And at the bottom here, which I've covered, this says we're going to continue with our copycat recipes, junk food creations, restaurant discoveries, and fun food challenges. And that's a lie. They're not going to do that. You know, the book has been published, and they're never going to work together again. So I'm going to make my final argument by stepping back and saying that Healthy Junk Food still has, on paper, more than 3 million subscribers. They were together for more than 10 years, and their videos used to get like millions of views back in the day, every now and then. And after they established themselves, they still could get like 100, 200,000 views pretty regularly. You know, with an installed base of more than 3 million, you get 100,000, 200,000 views pretty regularly. And right now, what Julia's doing, she's getting around 12,000 views per. And for a channel that's got more than 3 million subscribers, that's garbage. She's killing it. And I don't mean killing it in a good way, I mean in a bad way. And JP's channel, there'll be a link to his channel in the description, is getting steadily stronger. So, you know, JP could be huge again. Julia is just ruining what she took from JP. When JP gets that channel back, he might return it to the success it once had, or he may do something entirely new, which he is doing, and it will probably meet with larger success fairly soon. So what I have to say here is that I am not aware of any other situation in YouTube land that is happening for anybody else like this. Which is, this is a big channel. It's been ruined, meaning Healthy Junk Food with Julia running it. JP is slowly gaining strength. He's trying to get the channel back. This is a fight that is not finished. So the book, the actual paper book, could be, in addition to being good entertainment, like my biggest criticism was like all these deals, they're going to be obsolete, 5 minutes after it gets printed. That was a bit of an exaggeration. They'll be good for longer than that. And some of these deals stick around, and some of this is like just good advice on how to get things from these places that you might not normally know about. It could be a collector's item, a pop culture collector's item. So my advisement is you should buy the actual tree version of this book. It's a hardcover. I expect I'm going to go ahead and get a copy myself. So it's a sweet piece of work, and I believe it could be a real collector's item. And I don't think they're going to be printing another run, right? Because right now the Healthy Junk Food numbers are in the toilet, and JP's channel is getting stronger. It just, they don't have a place that is getting 100, 200,000 views regularly from which to promote this. So I don't think they're going to print the second run of this hardcover book. So I think you should get it. What influence does this little channel have? I got a 4K channel. I get 2 to 5K clicks on what I do. I know about half of you are not interested in this stuff. You just want the kin material. So for the community we have here, I would recommend getting this book. It's well, I'm starting to repeat myself. That's what happens when I do it one take. So there. Get the actual book. It could be a collector's item. And alright, let's move on to some more material here. What we have here is even more evidence of how rotten Julia Yarinsky is, which is, this is a collab that JP did with Freddie Foodie King, and it was published June 29th, 2023, and Julia didn't delete it, she didn't private it, she made it unlisted, so she removed it from the Healthy Junk Food channel. And this is the thumbnail, and I'm going to scroll down. Come on, let's go before people are clicking off. So Freddie has this to say. It was pinned by Healthy Junk Food, which means it was pinned by JP. And Freddie says, "It was an honor doing this collab with you. I really had fun doing it, and on such short notice from your busy schedule. You're one cool dude, my brother. Your boy, Freddie Foodie King." So everybody had a good time with it. And Julia removed this from the Healthy Junk Food channel. And I think it's because Freddie gave so much praise to JP. And this was more than just a piece by JP and Julia or JP while the channel was falling apart before Julia stole it away from JP. This is somebody giving respect for JP. So perhaps that's the reason why Julia removed it from the channel. It's a rotten thing to do, because Freddie is a nice guy, and he could get some promotion out of it, and JP made the decision to promote him, and there's nothing offensive about the video. And so just to pee Julia the bee off, we're going to run it here, and, it's very short, and let's just try to find more reasons as to why she took it down. So let's run it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, but, we're both Asian. So.
Well, I'm Freddie Foodie King. I've been on YouTube for like maybe a couple of years.
And what's your favorite place to go?
Taco Bell.
Is it really Taco Bell? All right, well, that's where we are right now. And I guess they got some new volcano thing coming out. What's this volcano thing about?
They got a double beef burrito, and the taco is like a red taco, and they put lava sauce inside. I've never had it before, so I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, well, you're going to love it. And you want to know why you're going to love it?
That might be the other reason why Julia took it off the channel, because JP went back to the catalog and grab this clip, and maybe this makes her angry. I don't know, it reminds people of the way they used to be, or something. Like, there isn't anything offensive about the collab with Freddie Foodie King for Julia to take it off the Healthy Junk Food channel. So I'm just making guesses here.
I'm gonna give this one a 4.5 out of 5. It's like those grillers, you know, but better. Because I've had that before.
Oh, you've had it.
We should totally try to make this lava sauce at home.
Lava sauce.
There is JP again, reaching into the back catalog to share some footage, which demonstrates his superior work, which probably got Julia Yarinsky peed off, and that might be the reason why she took this collab with Freddie Foodie King off the Healthy Junk Food channel. I'm just guessing. And even though I hardly ever say this, if you have any guesses, let me know in the comments below. Or if you got something better to do, don't make any comments at all.
To begin, we're going to grab a small pot, add in 6 tablespoons of butter and 1.5 cups of Red Hot. Also add in these listed ingredients on the screen, and once it's all mixed up and melted, add in our secret ingredient, which is a 1/4 cup of Velveeta cheese. Now this is just going to be the base of our sauce. If you want to thicken it up, pour this into a separate...
This clip goes on pretty long, right? So maybe Julia does not want to be reminded of JP's work from the past when she stole the channel. And anyway, I'm just making guesses here.
Bowl and add some creamy horseradish sauce until you get the consistency that you like. Taco Bell had the volcano thing on the menu, and I was begging for them to bring it back because honestly, it's like my favorite thing here. So true story, the lava sauce is not that spicy. I don't want to like be a spoiler for you. It's not like your Taco Bell sauce that's all watery and oily, but it's thicker, it's spicy, and it kind of reminds me of like the almost the chipotle stuff they put on like the quesadilla and stuff.
Okay.
Here, open that up. Have you ever had this before?
No, what is it?
It's a volcano taco. Actually, I should show them the trick I have for crunchy tacos. Taco Bell hack number 37. So the volcano combo comes with a double beef burrito and a volcano taco. As you can clearly see, crunchy tacos aren't the most flattering food to shove in your mouth. The lettuce goes everywhere, you look a bit disgruntled, and even your tribal bracelet is upset. So here's the hack. Open the burrito up completely, place your hard shell in the center, and crack it open flat. Now just fold each of the sides back in. You gotta keep going one side like a crunch wrap. Like one corner. Oh my god, you're killing me. Now just fold each of the sides back in, similar to a Crunch Wrap Supreme. Flip it over, wrap it back up, and you'll get double the toppings and twice the texture from the lettuce and taco shell. It's honestly the best of both.
This guy here is one of JP's friends who also happens to be an artist too. So maybe Julia is jealous of the talented people that JP knows. I'm just making guesses. And don't let me know in the comments below. No comments.
Both worlds. Don't get ripped off. You remember this? Did you ever do this? You put money in it and you get it down to the last thing. You get a free bean burrito or you get cinnamon twist, depending on how much money you bet. So I figured out how to do it, right? You have it drop on the first one and then you just whack the machine and the coin shakes off and I was there one day and I ended up getting like 10 free tacos because I was able to successfully get the quarter to the bottom.
Now that is a real hack, which might be another reason why Julia took it off the Healthy Junk Food channel, because JP did such a good job. I don't know. And I want no comments from anyone. No comments. Stop it.
Man, this thing was around in Taco Bell's back in probably the early 2000s.
Jeez, I never heard of it.
Alright, so see that? That's that volcano sauce. So just kind of take your finger in and just, like you're like a crack addict and just kind of scoop it and just kind of give it a little lick like some, yeah, what do you think of that? Is that spicy? What does it taste like?
I mean, it's spicy, but it's not like super spicy.
Is it the perfect heat level for any normie to eat without losing their face? Spicy?
Yeah, it's like a 4.5. Freaking delicious.
It is freaking delicious. I think the sauce is obviously the one component that Taco Bell brought back that you cannot replicate on the menu. So without the lava sauce, you don't got a volcano taco.
I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. Definitely something that if you've never tried lava sauce, go out and try it.
Not sponsored by Taco Bell.
There you go. That is the whole thing that Julia took down from the Healthy Junk Food channel. And we did our due diligence by sharing it with you here. And the earlier material is basically 40 minutes to do a book review. Which had to be fairly dry, yet I wanted to get to it the same, and I had to protect it, and I left the McDonald's part out. My advice is that if you loved Healthy Junk Food from the past and feel for JP fighting to get his channel back, then please get the book, because it could be a collector's item, in my opinion. Because I don't think they're going to be doing a second run of that. So if you want it, go get it and get the real paper book. Thanks for hanging around for this long. And how do we end with something funny? Well, let's take a little soundbite from JP and let's put it together with some Julia footage, all from the reaction I just did. And it'll be like we put them together again. So let's end with that.
You know, like you're like a crack addict. 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 You know, like you're like a crack addict.
Ding!